Okay. Everyone repeating your houses, please. Very quick. Incredibly, incredibly, remarkably, remarkably. Okay. Remarkably. Uh, Everyone repeating your houses, please. Very quick. Okay. Next one. Particularly. Particularly. Enough. Enough. Awesomely. Awesomely. Fantastically. Fantastically. Terrifically. Terrifically. Terribly. Terribly. Totally. Totally. Excessively. Excessively. Almost. Almost. Completely. Completely. Apparently. Apparently. So questions about the intensifiers.
Yeah, teacher. What is the meaning of enough and almost?
Almost. Casi.
Yeah, enough.
Enough. It's the only intensifier that has that goes at the end and means suficiente.
Okay.
Um,
So
let's see some sentences.
the intensifiers is before the verb or before the subject, or what is the position about
Most of the
with?
time,
Uh-huh.
the adjective and the verbs go after the intensifier. So let's see. The food is so great. I am very happy. The test was really hard. Uh, the firefighter. The firefighter or the bomber? What is correct?
Fire, fire.
Fire.
Fire, fire.
Okay. Would you like to learn more? Would you like to learn again false friends or not anymore? The firefighter was extremely hurt. So hurted es lastimado. The firefighter was extremely hurt.
Teacher, I have a question. Is about hot. Is hot is the adjective, no? It's
Yes.
because we don't have to say hot because with verbs in past we have to say hot when the verb ends with t or d, no?
Yes. Hard, it's an adjective.
Okay. How how can I how can I not confuse? How can I don't confuse when it's adjective or it is verb?
Remember that verb, it's an action. Adjective, it's an attribute or a characteristic about something, something that qualifies. Es una característica, algo para calificar, para describir, to describe something. Like, but verbs are verbs, they are actions. So here in this sentence, you have the test was really hard. So was is the verb and hard is an adjective.
Okay, thanks.
Remember, adjectives qualifies a noun, and verbs, it's an action always. I will give you an example with enough, because enough is the only intensifier who has the adjective of the verb before. So let's see, let's say the meat was cooked enough. Enough means suficiente. I'm almost finished. So you can see, we have the following structure. Here's the intensifier, right? And here is the verb or the adjective. Great, so great, really hard, very happy, extremely hurt, cooked enough, almost finished.
Teacher, in this case, I am almost finished. Finish is in past, no? Finish is the verb.
Yes and no, because it sounds like a verb. However, I am saying that I am almost finished. So finished, it's the adjective because it's qualifying my state. Estoy casi por terminar. Casi terminado es en inglés la traducción literal. Estoy casi terminado. Entonces, estoy is the main verb. And terminado, it's an adjective. But it sounds like a verb, but not in this context. Let's see. Let's watch some pictures. I will show you something here very quickly to teach you about intensifiers. So we have a verb here. This is a chicken for Christmas. So it is cooked, right? Looking in the list of intensifiers, what do you say about this chicken? If you use an intensifier for this chicken and this verb,
Almost.
It is very delicious.
is very delicious. What else?
The chicken is totally cooked.
Is what, Jair? Again?
It's totally cooked.
Yes. The chicken is totally cooked. The chicken is totally cooked. What else?
So this dinner?
It's a dinner?
Uh, so this is dinner?
So what?
So this. Okay.
Can you write it in the chat?
Yeah.
The chicken looks very delicious.
Oh, okay, Fernando. So this is dinner. That's
Yeah.
that's a correct expression, but it's not an intensifier.
Oh,
So think about something, Fernando, with the verb cooked and using an intensifier for this chicken.
okay, okay. Entiendo. Okay.
Looks fantastically appetizing. Fantastically appetizing. Someone said a sentence about the chicken before, Fernando. Who was it?
Sorry, repeat please.
¿Alguien dijo algo antes de ti? No sé quién fue. Una oración.
Yo,
Can you repeat it, please?
chicken looks really delicious.
It's really delicious. Okay.
The plate is extremely white. The plate is extremely white.
Now, let's see. We have now a chicken uncooked. Right? What can we say about this chicken?
The chicken is apparently uncooked.
Yo digo que hoy por la tarde.
In third, incredibly, incredibly, incredibly. Oh, sorry. Incredibly.
Teacher, that chicken is enough for us. Also, it looks terribly.
Soy yo, no lo escucho al teacher.
No, I'm listening. I was not speaking.
It looks terribly bad. Terribly bad. Or terribly ugly.
Terribly, terribly bad. Okay, so
Are
for
you telling me the chicken is still around?
so about that, Fernando, remember that we want the intensifier to go before the adjective or the verb. Incredibly, the chicken is still raw. It's correct, right? But not totally correct. You need to use like the chicken is incredibly raw. That will be the correct expression to use an intensifier directly for the chicken. And something important that you mentioned, Fernando, it's raw for everyone. Raw means crudo.
Raw. Okay.
Raw. R-A-W. Entonces los intensifiers, para que sepan, siempre queremos tenerlos después del sujeto y antes del verbo. It is totally raw. The chicken is totally raw.
Teacher, also the chicken is excessively expensive, no?
That's correct. Excessively expensive, it's correct. This is a truly real chicken. Real chicken. Okay, now that we know the definition of raw, we have raw eggs. Raw eggs. Crudo. Okay. Butter cake. Butter cake. So the cake, it's raw, right? The cake is raw at this moment. Now, what would you say about this cake using intensifiers?
This cake looks extremely pretty or extremely beautiful.
What else?
The cake is really delicious.
The cake is really delicious. Is the cake baked enough? Yes or no? Baked? Is the cake baked?
Yes.
Baked enough?
Yes.
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 The cake is
That's-
big enough.
That's correct. Okay, a cake in good shape.
Teacher, the price of the cake is fantastically cheap. No.
That's correct. Fantastically cheap. You got it, Eric. The cake looks particularly sweet. Very good. So we have raw steak, right? Raw steak. Uncooked. That's raw steak. Now, what would you say about this steak?
It looks so delicious.
It looks so delicious. What else? What else?
That
It looks
Brenda?
okay. It looks fantastic, fantastically,
Fantastically?
fantastically.
Fantastically what?
mm, The cooked steak.
Cooked. Fantastically cooked. What else, Cesar?
It totally cooked.
The steak is
It's
totally
totally cooked.
cooked. Awesome.
Can be to the steak is enough for me.
The steak is enough for me. Or the steak is cooked enough. The steak is cooked enough. Be careful with false friends, JP. Johnny, careful with that because precious is not pretty. That's a false friend. Precioso en español sí es bonito, pero precious en inglés es valioso. No es bonito. Cuidado con el false friend. Ese fue uno que vimos ayer. Precious en inglés no es precioso. Precious es como valioso. Por eso en El Señor de los Anillos dice, my precious, my precious. Okay. Now, let's see. Thank you for the examples, class. Let's see.
Teacher, what is the difference between steak and meat?
A steak is especially when you cook the steak in a barbecue. Especialmente para carne asada, cortes argentinos. Y meat puede ser meat in a soup, meat, raw meat, meat in tacos, meat is in general. But a steak is especially a las brasas.
Okay,
So what about this cake? I like it too. What about this cake?
This cake is totally bad. It's totally quemado. How to say quemado?
Totally
Fire,
burned.
burn.
Burned. Careful with the fire, careful with the false friends, because fire in English, in Spanish, is fuego. Quemado is not fireado. No, it's burned. Roberto.
It's terribly ugly.
What is the intensifier?
Terribly.
Oh, terribly. Brenda,
It is completely burned.
it's completely burned. Burned. What else?
It is excessively baked. Yeah.
Let's see. Hmm. No. It is excessively. What did you say about excessively what? Aaron?
Baked.
It's excessively baked. Mhm. What about this meat? What can you say about this meat? Or this steak?
This steak is almost burned.
Very good. It's almost burned. What else? What else? It is almost burned.
The meat doesn't look totally delicious.
It's not. What else?
It is excessively cooked.
Very good. It is excessively cooked. So now, do you understand how intensifiers work? Very good. So it's to qualify something like an adjective or a verb. The steak is apparently ready to eat, but is burned. We use most of the time these ones, the first two, a lot of times. I was so confused, like Roberto yesterday with the false friends. He was so confused, so frustrated, like when you want to speak more English, but you are not able to speak more English, you feel very, very sad. But when you come to class, you feel very energetic, very equilibrated. Questions about intensifiers?
So only enough is an intensifier before to the verb or qualified or adjective. Only enough.
That's right. So enough is the only intensifier who goes after the adjective or verb. It was cooked enough. It was baked enough. I was happy enough to have a good life. Happy enough. So terrifically, what means terrifically, class?
Terrifically means
Terrible.
terriblemente.
And false friend. Terrifically significa algo alucinante. Alucinante, positivo, como
Teacher,
wow.
yo lo busqué y sí, lo traduce como terriblemente.
The thing is that we have
Alucinante.
terribly and
Eso,
terribly.
terribly es horrorosamente.
Oh, that's interesting.
Mm.
Because we have an adjective in English, which is terrific. So terrific means alucinante and is not with negative connotation, right?
Okay.
And this one, this intensifier comes with that, comes from that adjective. That's terrific. Have you heard that sometimes in a conversation or in a movie? So terrific, depending on the context, because I would not say that the translator is lying, but you can say terrifically with alucinante.
En este caso sería alucinantemente.
That's right. But if you are talking about something negative, if you want to use that you were terrified, that works. It was terrifically uncooked. That restaurant was terrifically bad. En ese contexto, también sirve terrifically. Pero podemos usar terrifically en algo bueno. Como, wow, I went to Six Flags. And wow, all the games, all the amusement parks were terrifically astonished. Alucinantemente, increíble. But terribly can only be used in negative connotations. Terribly siempre va a ser algo malo. That's terribly baked, terribly learned.
Teacher,
Yes.
the intensifiers, we can use only in positive sentences or negative sentences too.
Negative sentences too.
In question is the same?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
You are not very convinced. Aren't you? You're not very convinced about being baptized, aren't you? So
Okay,
you're
we need. I'm
Yes.
sorry, teacher. You go ahead.
That's one example. And your house is not Totally. Destroyed. Your house is not totally destroyed.
Okay, teacher. Thank you.
We can use them in questions. When I ask you, are you almost done, class? I said that a lot. Are you almost done? Are you almost done? But the answer is yes. We can use it in questions, in negative sentences. And I wanted to specify the difference with terrifically and terribly. Totally, excessively, almost, completely, apparently.
Teacher, I have a question. What is the meaning of remarkably?
Remarkably es como
Resaltar algo?
yes, but there is a specific word for that. Let me look for it. Notablemente.
Okay.
Notablemente.
Is for me is get confused when we have to take the questions with intensifiers. I didn't understand very clear.
Questions with intensifier.
Questions with this intensifier.
It will depend of what do you want to ask. So let's see. It will depend on what would you like to ask. For example, when we have an intensifier, let's think about food. This is an easy example. I can ask you, is the cake cooked enough? I'm using an intensifier, right? And remember that enough is the only one who is at the end and has the adjective or the verb before. For the others, I can ask, why are you so happy? Or like the joke here, why so serious? Do you know that phrase of the Joker? Joker, Batman, why so serious? So it will depend of the question that you would like to ask. Where can I find this steak amazingly delicious? I follow the same structure. And what is the structure? Adjective, sorry, intensifier, and then adjective or action. Like cooked, baked, delicious. If you notice, if you see, I am following the same structure with intensifier. First, intensifier, then my adjective or verb. Exceptions? Enough. Only enough. But you can create many questions with intensifiers. But it will depend on what would you like to ask or what is something that you are looking for, like the last sentence. I am looking for the best steak in Guatemala. Where can I find this steak? Amazingly delicious.
So, teacher, almost every case is with intensifiers is only with adjectives, no? Because
Adjectives,
I didn't see with verbs or with action.
for example, in this case, the verb would be, for example, here. Is the cake cooked enough? So the verb is at the same time an adjective, but it comes from an action, cocinado, horneado. Esas son las clases de verbos que vamos a encontrar. Como un verbo que califica al sustantivo. Is the meat cooked enough? Or is the cake, in this case, is not cooked? Can be cooked, but we will use bake. Baked enough? Tenemos dos tipos de adjetivos. Adjetivos de cualidades y adjetivos que salen de los verbos, como cocinado, terminado. Are you finished? Terminado. Horneado. Pueden haber otros que vienen de un verbo y otros que vienen de estados de ánimo, cualidades como happy, serious, delicious, bad, good, etc. So this is what when I am referring to verbs, son adjetivos que vienen de verbos.
So if I say I am, I am almost playing soccer is not correct, no?
No, you are using gerund.
I am almost playing soccer. No, also.
No, because you are using playing. You are saying, well, if you say I am almost playing soccer, it's not totally incorrect because you are using the verb to be, saying that describing your condition. So it's not totally incorrect. I am almost playing soccer, but for what? You will need to add a complement. I'm almost playing soccer. Okay. But when we use intensifiers on this context, it's to describe For example, I almost, let's see. I almost,
I almost drink that coffee.
well, actually with almost, I would say that you can say like, I almost finish the game. Como el partido. Almost, it's applicable. I'm almost done. Like the last example here in the question.
Teacher,
So with almost, you are free to use it. But remember that if you are going to use gerund, don't miss the verb to be. I am almost playing soccer. Estoy casi jugando fútbol. Como, tienes que agregar algo ahí como estoy casi jugando fútbol para to become a champion or to become professional. So that's specifically with the first sentence. We need to add a complement. Don't forget about that. Yes, Lucy.
I have other question. The quantifiers are in the same position in the sentence always, or they can change?
The quantifiers?
Yeah, in the sentence. Because I don't understand why you put first I am, for example, I almost finished the game. Está después del sujeto. Another example, estaba entre el verbo principal, estaba el pronombre, el verbo principal, el quantifiers y después estaba el adjetivo. So, yo no sé si siempre va a ir en un lugar específicamente o puede cambiar o cambia directamente.
Siempre lo tenemos antes del sustantivo o del adjetivo, antes del adjetivo. Los intensifiers, quantifiers es otra cosa. Intensifiers son los que estamos viendo ahorita. Entonces, estos siempre van a estar antes del adjetivo. Con almost podemos hacer algunas excepciones, pero no es lo mismo que con enough. Porque la excepción de enough es que enough siempre va al final. Pero con almost estábamos viendo, le estaba dando a Eric otros ejemplos de algunas ideas que se pudieran expresar con almost. Porque almost significa casi. Entonces con almost podríamos hacer como ser un poco más flexibles, pero con los demás, siempre la regla general para los intensifiers es que primero va el intensifier y después va el adjetivo o el verbo que viene de un adjetivo, como baked, cooked, shopped, etc. Esa es la regla general.
Ok, entonces mi mente tiene que quedar que solamente enough and almost change. O sea, pueden cambiar. The other is the same. So, thank you, teacher.
Sí, porque con almost podríamos hacer algunas excepciones para expresar algunas ideas, pero no es muy común, pero sí existe. La gente va a entender. Cuando digo I'm almost done, como almost, aquí sí se cumple la regla porque va antes de done, que es un verbo que califica. Es un adjective verb. Estoy terminado. Entra en la lista de baked, cooked, de estos clases de adjetivos. I almost finished the game. Casi termino el juego. Estoy hablando en tiempo presente. Y la expresión es correcta. O sea, se entiende. Pero la regla general para intensifiers es siempre primero intensifier y después adjetivo o verbo calificativo. Esa es la regla general. Esa es la regla general. But it was a good question, actually. More questions about intensifiers. Because quantifiers are like much, any. Por eso me confundí un poco ahí como quantifiers. Todavía no hemos aprendido quantifiers. Más questions sobre intensifiers. Con los verbos que salen de adjetivos, podemos llamarlos verbos calificativos. Entran en esta lista verbos que en español son como en participio. Por ejemplo, baked, cooked, yes, horneado,
Full.
cocinado, comprado, quemado. Viene del verbo burn, to burn, que es quemar. Finished. Del verbo finish. Estos son verbos calificativos que podemos usar con intensifiers. Y aparte están los adjetivos normales, ¿verdad? Cheap, good, bad, happy, delicious, expensive. Estos son adjetivos normales que todos conocemos. ¿Cómo podemos identificar los verbos calificativos? Porque vienen directamente de una acción. Vienen directamente de una acción en el contexto que estamos hablando. Y siempre terminan en ed o en pasado. Siempre terminan en pasado. Entonces, cuando ustedes estén conversando, se van a dar cuenta de los adjetivos que van a utilizar. Muy importante sobre eso. Okay. More questions. All right. So let's practice. I have 2 images for you. I have 2 images. can you confirm if you are able to open the picture that I sent? The image that I sent? Can you confirm, please?
Okay, teacher, solo give me a moment to try.
I will send you another image.
Yeah, I could.
Okay, thank you. So I have an activity for you. I send you 2 pictures, okay? And I will give you an example. Here, I have a comic, right? Or a sequence of images. What are we going to do? We are going to create a story, right? We are going to create a story using intensifiers. If you want, you can write it. If not, it's okay. But you will tell a story to your group. For example, let's give a little bit of zoom here. So let's see. It was a very shiny day. It was a very shiny day. And the air was so fresh. There was a lady. Her name was Susana. Susana was very happy. And he was particularly happy today because she had a new dog. Its name was Cheto. So Susana took Cheto, and Cheto was excessively let's see.
¿Cómo se dice ruidoso?
Pulgoso?
Ruidoso.
Oh, that's good. So Cheto was excessively noisy. And Susana decided to take a chocolate in the park. So Susana found a chair and asked for a chocolate. But Susana didn't notice that there were birds in that tree. And the birds were, let's look for an intensifier, were incredibly sick of the stomach. So the chocolate was terribly dirty, and Susana didn't want it to drink it because the birds poop in the chocolate. So Susana said, "Oh, come on, birds. It was the only chocolate that I have for today, and I was having a very happy day. What happened with you guys?" And the birds start laughing. They were totally fond because of Susan. Apparently, Susanna was, when she was a child, she was like always playing with the birds. So the birds wanted to play her a joke. Susanna was terribly mad of them, but at the end, a handsome waitress gave him a chocolate, but now the chocolate had a different detail. Susanna was awesomely grateful to this man, and they almost go on a date, but that's another story. And that's the end. So we will create a story using the pictures that I send you. Okay, try to think about sentences that you can use with intensifiers, verbs, or any idea that comes to your mind. Okay, so let's see. Let's see. Roberto, please create a story using this picture. You can create the story that you want.
Now?
Yes.
Okay. Here we go. There was a woman. She was with her pet, and she asked chocolate for waiter. So how do you say crab in the second word?
So the birds
Yes.
pooped.
Poop. Thank you. So suddenly, someone pooped her chocolate. She looks up. Is that correct? She looks up. Teacher?
And can you say that again, please?
She looks up.
She look it up.
Look it up. Oh, thank you. She looked it up and she saw many birds above her head, and she was very, very mad and disappointed. So after waiter brought another chocolate.
Okay, very good. So the reason that I was laughing is because I remember this word crap in the mission a lot. I remember using it a lot, but you can say like crapped, but it sounds not vulgar, but very, very informal and very funny.
Yes.
It's not a bad word. It's not a swear word. You are not swearing, right? But it's better to use pooped. Because crap in español is caca. So you said crapped.
It's the same in Portuguese.
Diferente. Entonces, mejor usar pooped. Es como pupear, algo así.
Okay.
Very good. So, who else? Let's see. Aaron, can you create your own story here? You can create as many details as you want.
Okay, thanks. So one day there was a woman that was so happy, was very happy. So she went to a restaurant. The woman asked for I forgot how to say mesero.
Winter.
Winter, thank you. The woman asked for the winter. for extremely delicious coffee. So the winter went for his coffee, and the woman realized that there were bears around her. They were singing awesome, lovely, loud. So the woman looks terribly angered. So she continued. Then the winter came back with his coffee, and the woman looks totally happy. Then, when she started drinking his coffee, she looks that the birds just poop their coffee. The end.
Very good. Okay, so now let's create a story with the two images that I shared with you, okay? We will do it in groups. We will do it in groups to make it more funnier. Make it funnier. Let's see. All right. Please accept the invitation. With the two images, one story for each of you. But the most important thing is use intensifiers. Use intensifiers. You don't need to write anything if you don't want, but use intensifiers.
Lovely, Mr. Lovely. No.
Guided by a beating heart, I can't tell where the journey will end, but I know where to start. They tell me I'm too young to understand. They say I'm caught up in a dream. Well, life will pass me by if I don't open up my eyes. So that's fine by me. So wake me up, 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 up. So wake me up, 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 up,
Welcome everyone. I feel relaxed today, aren't you? Are you tired? You need to stretch yourself a little bit. Okay. So, how was the practice, the story? It was great. Okay. So let's see. The group of Cesar, Eric, and Eva, please share your stories with the class.
Okay, I will read our story. And the first picture is, in the beginning, the wife was excessively tired in the kitchen. The husband bought the things for the next dinner. He was really tired too. They were talking between them for some problems that they had before. She apparently doesn't want to talk with him, so she continued filling the cupboard with water. The man is extremely angry with her. The wife says something totally bad and he went too far from her. She just fills the cupboard with water. That fight was completely strange. Another story, or the next story is, there are a family in a house. The grandma is very scared for one reason. The kid was looking for a branch to make an incredibly nice broom and sweep their house. The kid found a little mouse with a fantastically great ball of wool. The kid was cleaning with his mom your extremely big house. The wind the wind was excessively strong and that made that the monk left over the window flying. The kid left running to search his mom because her fall was terribly crazy and strong. At the end, the family was drinking their tea, very delicious, and everyone is totally fine and happy, without kids, and they will living happy forever. And
Very good. Bravo. Okay, that were the two stories, right? Two stories.
right,
So we will continue after lunch. Please have your lunch. I see you here in an hour, 1 p.m. Okay, and enjoy it. Enjoy your lunch, class. You deserve it. Take a rest.
Thank you, teacher.
Thank you, teacher. Enjoy your lunch. Bye.